Hi everyone, my name's Bridget Mansfield and I'm a Product Marketing Manager at Microsoft UK. I work predominantly with the small to medium-sized businesses, and I'm going to talk to you today about how you can leverage your Microsoft Teams platform as a phone system using Microsoft Teams Phone in order to help support an advanced modern communication strategy that's completely integrated within the security of Microsoft 365. So this is what's going to be covered in the next 20 minutes. Please pause on this index if you'd like to use the timestamps there for specific topics. I'll also post this index below. We realise that to compete in this new hybrid world today, leaders must embrace extreme flexibility in when, where and how people work. And with hybrid work being the norm for most of us over this past year, building and maintaining those connections has been challenging. While meetings are important and they often dictate my own working day, I definitely miss those impromptu conversations I used to have, when you happen to pass by someone in the office, for example. Studies show that voice is the human connection that creates understanding and helps to build relationships. And I found that even more apparent during lockdown. I often find myself messaging with a colleague over Teams and then quickly turn that chat into a voice call to work through something. Being able to pick up the phone, whether I'm on my laptop on Teams or on my mobile phone on the Teams app, has been a key factor for maintaining connections with my colleagues, customers and partners over this past year. Microsoft Teams has been adapted for inclusive hybrid experiences and is a complete digital headquarters. But hybrid working, or the new way of working, doesn't come without its own challenges. You may be looking at what your return to office looks like at the moment. Will you allow employees to have a choice, whether to be in the office permanently or to work remotely? And with that, it presents us with a challenge, as many organisations have built and designed their telephony solutions around users being in an office, using a dedicated network and PC or a physical phone handset. And there's three areas to think about here. The first one, hybrid workspaces. Employees need to communicate from any work site and on any device. The second is evolving calling scenarios. Organisations require flexible phone capabilities while keeping those classic calling features. And the third, pressure on IT budget and resources. Modern solutions must be cost effective as well as easy to manage. So how do we bring this all to life? Well, we do this with the help of our Microsoft partners through Microsoft Teams and Teams Phone. Teams Phone is an add-on solution which allows you to leverage your Teams platform as an entire phone system. We all know that the way we work has changed dramatically, and many of us have been without a traditional work phone for over a year now. This is an opportunity to work on a new device strategy and rethink what a phone really is. We can see this being done already by unprecedented growth in Teams and Teams Phone, with 250 million monthly active users on Teams in 181 markets. Over 1 billion one-on-one calls are made each month and all supported in 53 different languages. Microsoft has been positioned in the Leaders section again for the 2021 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Unified Communications as a Service. This is Microsoft's third consecutive year as a leader in the UCaaS quadrant and continues to validate our leadership in this space. To read more about this, I've left a link below. So what does Microsoft Teams Phone actually provide? Well, it integrates calls seamlessly into the flow of work. It meets business needs with unified modern and classic calling features. It optimises IT resources with streamlined setup and management. And it provides users with flexible but budget-conscious devices. Let's look at these in more detail. So when we talk about the ability to integrate calls into the flow of work, an example of this is when you can quickly start a call from the Teams chat, call history, or even right from an Outlook email. We use the expression management from a single pane of glass because the fluidity and ease of running your business is literally all there in front of you. You can also collaborate from Microsoft 365 apps directly from calls and meetings together, and you can leverage the full suite of calling features from any device and any location. Let's take a look at some of this productivity in action.
Teams calling features are fully integrated with the Microsoft Teams app, making it really easy to stay productive. Starting an audio or video call from a chat can be done with just one click. Using the collaboration tools like integrated chat, screen and application sharing, and shared content control, you can work together with your team in real time, all without leaving the Teams app itself. This makes it really easy to stay organised and productive no matter where you or your team members are working from. Other features like adding participants to a call are literally a few clicks away as well. I find that turning your video on while working on a document with your colleagues can really help to replicate that feeling of collaborating in the office together.
And with Cameo, a new PowerPoint experience that seamlessly integrates your camera feed into your presentation, you can customize how and where you want to appear on your slides and get layout recommendations from the Design tab in PowerPoint for maximum impact. And when it's time to actually present on a call, you can deliver your presentations using PowerPoint Live in Microsoft Teams. The new modern calling experience looks at what you have in your existing phone system, but then improves the experience with things like live captions and transcriptions, for example. It optimizes the customer experience you can provide your own customers with features like consultative transfers, music on hold, and voicemail transcriptions. This is one that I personally love. It's great if you receive a voicemail and you're not in a position to listen to it. You can just read it as a text message. It also offers auto attendance, which allows you to set up menu options for your incoming calls. So an example would be hearing things like, for sales, press 1, for support, press 2, and so on. You put those into call queues for those specific departments. With our accessibility features, you can actually just say the words sales or support instead of physically pressing a button as well. And diving deeper into one of our popular calling updates, we have something called voice-enabled channels, which enables users to connect those call queues I just talked about directly into specific Teams channels. Users can collaborate and share information within the channel while taking calls in the queue. An example shown here, you can see the company Northwind Traders. Let me just mark them out. They have their own support help desk department. Support help desk, as you can see, has their own voice enabled channel. Let me just mark this as well. Excuse my lovely artwork. So any inbound calls for support gets routed directly only to there. The only phones that ring are anyone assigned to the support channel, and that team will be able to see all the support history, call stats, and have their own dial pad. You can see that in the top right corner. They'll also be able to see the statuses of their own colleagues in the channel who are available in a call or offline, that you can see in the bottom right corner. They would also have access to their own wall post there, which they'll be able to post messages to each other and see, for example, the status of all their service tickets. Now let's take a look at other examples of how to share and forward some of your Teams calls.
Managing your calling features is easy, whether it's through your mobile or your computer. Things like sharing your calls with a colleague can be done from within the Teams app. By clicking Delegate and adding your teammate, it will allow them to make and receive calls on your behalf. Managing call forwarding is just as simple as well. You can choose to forward calls to voicemail, a specific colleague, a call group, or literally any other number.
You can easily manage your entire phone system through the Teams Admin Center, providing you with things like data-driven ability to see performance and understand usage so that you can take the appropriate steps to mitigate and report using the Teams call quality dashboard that you can see here in the top right corner. Let me show you a demo of some of the other IT admin features. Managing your phone system is like managing any other part of Teams. It's all done through the Teams Admin Center. So this makes tasks like acquiring new numbers for your office locations completed in literally a few minutes. And local numbers are available in countries and cities globally. No longer will phone system administrators have to learn the complexity and nuances of managing on-premise phone system hardware and software. With Teams calling, IT admins now have the ease of use from the Teams Admin Center to manage all of your Microsoft 365 features. And once you've acquired new local numbers, assigning those numbers to users is easy. You simply choose one of the available numbers, assign that to a licensed user, associate the number with an emergency location, click apply, and you're all done. With purpose-built devices for Teams, we've innovated beyond traditional phones to provide a consistent experience across all devices, making a simple, smart user experience. Your employees will end up with one primary phone number that spans across all of their devices. Devices from low-cost phones to traditional desk and video phones to new form factors like advanced Teams displays for richer calling experiences, and of course something many of us all rely on, using a mobile phone. The Teams mobile app has many of the same features included in the desktop app, including access to contacts, call history and voicemail. With a compatible calling plan, you can make and receive calls using Microsoft Teams from any number in the world. Adding additional people to a phone call is also straightforward. Just tap the participants icon to search for a contact, or simply just add the phone number in the search bar. Teams and Teams Phone on your mobile increases your productivity on the go by starting calls faster and always having clear audio when you're out and about. And the mobile app has just had some updates announced. Teams meetings will bring the same rich capabilities you see on your desktop to your mobile. With custom backgrounds, you won't need to worry about where you're joining the meeting from. Dynamic View also lets the screen automatically adapt to show attendees and content, and you can confidently present in PowerPoint live from your mobile, just as you would on your desktop. When sharing, you'll be able to see live reactions from other attendees and share your own as well. You can also use your mobile as a walkie-talkie. You might already use one of these at work. So, like traditional walkie-talkies, you press and hold a button to speak and then just release the button to listen. This is used on your phone though, so there's no extra device to carry around with you, and it's completely integrated with the Teams platform, so all of your contacts are on there. And launching later, a new experience will be available using Desk Phone to quickly connect with the push-to-talk function. So what's the business value? What's the benefit of Teams Phone? Sometimes I think we focus on license costs versus those associated with the total cost of ownership. And we shouldn't forget that there's significant investments associated with IT costs, physical hardware, maintenance and support attached to those on-premise solutions. When looking at your end-to-end unified communication strategy, you're looking for ways to optimize how your employees communicate whilst saving money tied to these 4 pillars that you can see here. So physical and travel cost savings. I mean, I've personally saved loads on travel this past year alone. And reduction in device costs, as I mentioned earlier. Process improvement and savings made from automation and gains from improved voice communications. Savings from simplified management and support, so reduced costs of PBX, administration, equipment and licensing, plus savings made from consolidating all into one platform. If you're interested in knowing what this means for your business specifically, I definitely recommend reaching out to a Microsoft partner who can advise you. Potential cost savings can vary based upon your business size, deployment schedule, cloud adoption maturity, and a number of other variables. These numbers here are to illustrate the potential savings your company could achieve with a modern communications setup, with an example of 50 voice seats, saving $48,000 per year. Better voice communications due to the capabilities in Teams Phone increases employee productivity and enables a highly mobile workforce, allowing you to save on your physical overhead costs. In this example here, we can see benefits of £144,000 over 3 years, working out at 2,900 per user. This results in a 411% return on investment with a 6-month payback period. But that's not all the benefits we get with Teams, so let me dive into product innovation, which we have delivered at an incredible pace. Over 300 new capabilities have gone live and loads more just announced at Microsoft Ignite this year. Let's just say our target was to rethink how we go to work. And for many of us, going to work now means going to Teams. And with that in mind, we have just introduced Microsoft Mesh to use in Teams. Through Microsoft's Metaverse, Mesh allows people in different physical locations to join collaborative and holographic experiences. You can also customize your own virtual experience for calls and meetings, as you can see here, with a 3D avatar of yourself, instead of having your camera off. I literally cannot wait to create my own avatar. Let me show you the demonstration of this in action.
And as Satya said, it's so important to bring the human connection into our digital world. We're using this technology for meetings and learning, team get-togethers, and it's helped us really transform our new joiner experience. And you'll see I've joined this meeting today using my avatar. We love this new feature because it gives everyone the flexibility and choice to show up in ways they are most comfortable. And for me, not having to be on camera all day has really helped with my energy and engagement.
And even though you're not joining on camera, it feels natural as I can see your facial expressions, gestures, and even live reactions.
Now let's take a look at our new desktop calling experience in the Teams desktop app itself. So this is Microsoft's version of a business phone handset today. It's had a refresh, we've completely overhauled the calling experience, and that's a direct reaction of our customer feedback and usage. So we've upgraded the number dial pad, prioritising things like call history and stats, added speed dial into a profile section that you can see there, and just made it really simple to use basically, really user friendly. As I previously mentioned, we've also focused on the mobile calling experience, as this is how many of us use Teams today. Now you can easily move your call from your desktop to your mobile phone or vice versa, seamlessly without interrupting any part of the meeting. So when you start to join a call from another device, there's a prompt that you can see here that asks you to transfer. This is so useful when you're on the go, moving from your laptop, for example. For me, I've had to travel in the past to an appointment during a meeting, and I've simply switched devices, put my earbuds in, and I've been good to go. And from your mobile now to your car, the latest innovations brings Teams calling and meetings to Apple CarPlay. We also have a very robust feature roadmap with Teams Phone. Things like bandwidth control, more compliance recording solutions, Dynamics integration, and customized music on hold as a few examples. Many have already landed, much more being created as I speak, and we're putting a lot of thought and innovation investment into making Teams Phone one of the best UCaaS experiences with our partners. This falls into good timing with the ISDN Switch-off. If you haven't heard about this, BT is switching off their public switch telephone network and integrated services network. These are just industry abbreviations for traditional phone networks we've used since the 1800s to connect phones, so non-digital calling basically. Openreach actually announced this back in 2018, and there's numerous milestones planned to keep this switch off on time. The target is 2025 for every phone line in the UK to be digital. This will affect all residential and business customers, and it aligns with the UK government's promise to see 15 million premises connected to full fibre by 2025. So I'd recommend reading up on this for more details if you're not familiar with it, and you'll be able to see how this fits into planning your modern calling solutions. There's a few options for getting started. You can choose Microsoft Teams Phone with our calling plan, which comes with 1200 domestic calling minutes. Or you can choose a Teams Phone option with calling plans through a third-party provider of your choice. This is via direct routing or Operator Connect. All of these options have great benefits, and to get all the latest information, make sure you speak to your Microsoft partner for the best advice. If you're not already connected to a Microsoft partner, you can search for one using this website and filter through a specific product or through location. You can see the link here, but I'll actually leave one that you can click on below. Using a Microsoft partner is definitely recommended, as they're specifically trained to examine your business needs and recommend the best solutions for you to drive a better return on your investments. They can also help you set up a free trial for Microsoft Teams Phone, so please take advantage of that, and you can see for yourself how it can benefit your business today. Thank you.
Microsoft Teams, where there's a team, there's a way.